The Jets stink, but Boy Green and James Wudi do not. Okay, we are here asking all the questions, answering them to the best of our ability. Okay, and just coming, I guess coming up from that loss because I was crazy, and moving forward from here. We got the Jags later. All right. All right. It's time to ask some questions, get some answers. It is Boy Green meets Wudi.
Can you guys help us get a Jet chant here? Yeah, going.
Oh.
Okay, right, yeah. Come on in.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go!
J-E-T-S, Jets! Let's go! J-E-T-S, Jets! Let's go!
Third Party Thursday.
Chris joining us here on the program with a capital P here on the program.
Jake Asman, come on down. How you doing, good sir?
Wow, what an intro. I mean, the Boy Green is known for having the intro, but Wudi, that was unreal, man. Thanks for the kind words, son.
We are men of many names.
My favorite Austrian Jets fan right there,
Nice.
baby.
Boy Green
Meets Wudi. Welcome to another episode of Boy Green Meets Wudi. It is your boy James Wudi, and you already know we are Wudi, rocking everywhere. Right here, my God, just warming up the shoulders real quick. Oh, is he ready to fight? Oh, he might be. You know what I'm talking about? Over here in the red corner, I'm talking about none other than the boy who became king, Mr. Paul Esden Jr. How are you doing, my good sir?
I'll dive into the deep end of the pool here immediately, Woody. From how you set that question up actually goes into my first question, and it starts depressingly, I'm going to be honest.
Damn.
Oh, is Paul ready for a fight? Well, I ask you, Woody, the top question the Jets need to answer before this Jags game is what is there left to fight for? The Jets have been eliminated for the playoffs for the 15 straight season, and there was a month of Jets football left, but now even the fake allure of going on some wild run to maybe make the playoffs as this unbelievable team with a shitty record, well, now that's off the table too. So I ask you, Woody, the same question the Jets need to answer. What Drago photo are they crushing in their hands? What's the motivation? What's their running on the treadmill? What's the piece of meat hanging in front of this New York Jets team, Woody?
That's crazy. Or not, let me not say crazy, but it is interesting to me because I did not think they had any chance of winning or getting to the playoffs weeks ago. Playoffs have been, I know they, mathematically, if they went out and, 13 teams lose out, right? Like, all this different nonsense. But they weren't making the playoffs before that game. There was literally, if the probability wants to say 3%, okay, that's fine. But to me, it's zero.
Well, okay. If this had never happened in Jets history before, I think your credence should be true. Paul, 3-9, 3-10. What the hell is the difference, buddy boy? But you go back to 2009 where Rex Ryan, after losing to the Falcons, interesting that it was the Falcons, although the Jets beat the Falcons this time around, they did not beat them in 2009. Rex Ryan comes up to the podium and goes, damn it, we're out of the playoffs. We just missed it. And the media goes, all right. And then after, a few of the players look on what social media was back in 2009, goes, wait a second, coach, we're not finished yet. He's like, oh. And then all this crazy ass shit that had to happen, it seemed unlikely. I don't remember what the percentages were back in 2009, but it was like these 12 teams had to win, these 12 teams had to lose, and these teams had to tie. There was all kinds of weird crap that had to happen. And then it happened, and wow, after Rex Ryan, the Jets head coach, the guy who's supposed to be representing everything, said, we're done, boys. We're out. Just kidding, we're in. And then they go to the AFC Championship game, which is part of the lore of Rex Ryan forever. So, even though it's impossible to compare this team to that team, the mathematical possibility of always being alive, Jet fans are always going to look back to 2009 and say, hey, you're saying there's a chance. Now, there is literally no chance. There's nothing. Zero. Zip and pip.
No chance in hell. You don't
Sucker,
got.
that's what you got.
So, um, for me, it's been about the culture, the mentality, trying to build what Aaron Glenn is trying to build, and trying to coach what you trying to play how you've been coached. I think all that is pretty important. That's what I've been expecting from the team, since the playoffs have been out of my mind. You look at the Brees Hall quote where he, pretty much, it's kind of sad. Like, yeah, it's been tough on him every year, just, seeing what he said was his peers or people that he felt he was better than, get to go to the playoffs, and he's, sitting at home. But then he also said, he sees how Aaron Glenn is trying to turn things around, and we got to execute like we know we can. And there's still that to be had. These next 4 games, there are, players that they're playing for themselves. They're playing for their coach, right? But they're also playing to establish. Like, I'm sure if I'm Jawan Briggs, I got to prove to these dudes, like, yo, you guys do not need to draft an interior defensive lineman in the first 2 rounds. Like, I'm your guy. You don't need none of that. And there's so many guys that I could say are in that type of situation. Unfortunately, Jarvis Brownlee does not get to fight his fight on the field. But that's, another person who I would say, there's a lot to play for. So, I know for the Jets fans, it's probably super black and white. Oh, you're playing for something? You're playing for nothing. But for the players, that couldn't be any more true. And from my perspective, that couldn't be any more false. Sorry.
I was like, wow, okay. After that long diatribe, you got me on the pivot. You're like, and that's why it's absolutely true. Oh, okay.
No, it's it couldn't be more false. It's not black and white for them. And the way I see it, I'll always sympathizing. Oh my God, sympathizing. There it is with the players. It's not black and white for me either. So I'm gonna stop talking because I'm fucking up right now, and I'm gonna pass it to you. But that's my answer: is that there's plenty to play for.
I think there is, and it's interesting you talking me off ledges versus some other way around, I guess. But no, and the reason why it's just always fresh on my mind, speaking of Boy Green meets Woody, shout out to everyone, no matter where they're watching here on the show. But like Johnny Boy was captain. So you're saying there's a chance every week? Well, mathematically, there's a point percentage chance of that. Well, maybe some of this could happen. And he's been all over that. So, and his comment has always been on these shows in particular, the Boy Green Meets Woody show. So I've always seen it, and I just put it in the back of my mind. We don't always address every single comment that comes through, but we appreciate all the comments that do come through, and you guys get active in there. But that's the one that's always been on my mind. So now, as we did our first show, and we're doing our first show right now, post that apocalyptic it's over thing for the 15th year in a row, and people are cracking their jokes. It's the longest active drought in the NFL. It's the longest active drought in any professional sports in North America. It's the longest drought in Jets franchise history. The Jets have been bad before, and we've had these talks of like, oh, we're down bad, but back in the day, there was this one time. There is no time that any Jets fan, no matter how old you are, could ever reference that it is as bad as it is right now in terms of a consecutive streak of not making the playoffs. Literally in no point in Jets history has that ever happened before. So, there's this line in The Office where, it's at the end of an episode and they say, I wish I had known it was the good times while the good times are still going on. It's the opposite of, like when we're in the middle of all these bad times, because we didn't know it was going to be a 15-year playoff drought and however much longer, that we knew in the moment that this was going to be a long, long road. And it's just depressing. Yeah.
It was Andy Bernard in the
thank you. Yes, thank you.
The finale of the show.
Yeah.
Like the last episode.
That's what I've come to understand what the word finale means.
Yeah, I hope so. I just want to make sure. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I've said it about the how physically ill it makes me. It's so embarrassing. The Jets have had their chances to make the playoffs. Not a lot of them, but Ryan Fitzpatrick, oh my God, threw the Jets away, not once, not twice, just awful. And I guess I could sit here and debate. We can, and they had a chance this time, but what I will say is that was my driving factor toward my energy this offseason was I didn't I need this to end as soon as possible, and I knew with the hiring of Aaron Glenn, it wasn't going to end. So for anyone who's surprised or anything like that, I don't, I try my best, screaming from the rooftops, AG, Justin Fields out. That's not the combo. And that's actually it sounds like I'm trying to diss AG, but I'm not. I'm just saying it's a first year coach taking a
Aaron Rodgers thing you're talking about then, right?
What?
So with AG coming, it seemed unlikely that AG and AR were going to get together. So you're saying that's sort of an Aaron Rodgers infused thing, is what you're saying?
No, I mean I didn't expect AG to just completely be an asshole to Rodgers. I was not expecting that. I was saying AG. I'm saying a first time head coach taking the reins. I felt like was a step back. That was my big thing the whole time during the coaching search. If you need that reminder, I'll gladly give it to you.
Thank you.
Every one of my candidates were experienced head coaches before. Obviously.
Yeah, we saw the dating profile, Woody. We saw it. We saw what you were looking for. Yeah.
But didn't get that, and now we are here. And then who knew that then he would completely alienate, the QB that just cooked up the Ravens, no problem, and that also sent Devontae going, who was out here dominating, was catching touchdowns, 2 touchdowns every game, sometimes 3 touchdowns. But anyway, that's I'll leave that to page 81 in my diary. Let's ask the next question. And the next question is usually, it's like a general question, how we do it, but this question might be for you, Boy Green. Okay. Did you like Brady's cooking?
Did I like Brady's cooking? I think the politically correct answer is to or not politically correct, but perhaps if I was running for office. I appreciate that question, Wudi. And let me tell you why I love that question so much. And then I just sort of dance around without ever answering it. There are things I liked about Brady's cooking. There's things I didn't like about Brady's cooking. The Brady's cooking I didn't like, the 2 ugly-ass interceptions were disgusting. Specifically the first one. Because, again, I have the great benefit, and I'm very humbled that I get the chance to do play-by-play analysis for Jets games, and we get to watch it together with a bunch of people. The situation is this. It's the end of the first half. Jets are down 17. The Jets, thanks to a big PI call, whoa, Jets are in field goal range. All right, Brady. Hang on tight, Brady. Whoa, rein it in now. We're in field goal range. You kick a field goal, we're down 2 scores. We get the ball in the second half. We go right down the field, score a touchdown. It's a 1-score game. So hold the phone. You run the play on third down. If it's wide open in the end zone, Brady, you throw it, young man. You throw it to the open guy, and you get a touchdown. But sure as shit, if it's not open, no problem. Dirt it, knee it, flop on it, whatever. Just don't throw a pick, buddy. And then, whoop, Brady throws an interception. I'm like, oh, dear God. And obviously, we know how the rest of the game goes. So turnovers, hated from Brady. What I liked about the Brady cooking, and I'm not sure if I normally like this about cooking when I'm describing the food I'm eating, but it was real rugged, real tough. Okay? This food got sacked 6 times. Brady got hit a lot more than the 6 officially on the stat sheet. He got smacked around. I love the toughness from the young man. I love, and I don't know if this is Brady's doing or that of Tanner Engstrand. Maybe it was the ingredients that were bought for one Brady Cook. Maybe this is not his fault. But early on, it seemed like Brady Cook had a leash, and it was real tight. Like, hey, Brady, I don't know if it was Mark Sanchez red card, yellow card, blue card on determining where he's allowed to throw and things of that nature, but it didn't seem like they were letting him play. Just hand the ball off, short. And then at some point, either Tanner says this or Brady says this. The story sounds a lot better if Brady says this. fuck it. I don't know when my next NFL opportunity is coming. I'm going to start throwing around the barnyard. Let's go. Pew, pew, pew. Firing it off like a old gunslinger back in an old Western. And all of a sudden I saw like aggressiveness and willingness for Brady to throw around the football, which I was encouraged by. Again, not sure. We'll probably never know. Was that a Tanner thing? Was that a Brady thing? That I'm not sure. So I love the toughness. I loved his willingness to throw around the football. And if we're being perfectly candid, the context of this Brady Cook analysis is this is his first regular season football of his life. He's never played at the NFL level before in a regular season game. He has never had first-team practice reps. He was just chucked out there after Tyrod Taylor hurt his groin on the second drive of the game, slapped Brady on the tush. Go figure it out, buddy boy. So I think that sort of has to be factored in too. And then, for the love of God, 6 drops? 6? And you know what? The beautiful thing was everyone got involved. It wasn't just one guy dropping 6 passes. Adonai Mitchell, John Mitchell III, who dropped a touchdown. Oh, awful. Mason Taylor dropped. I mean, everybody. Isaiah Williams had a drop. Like, literally all of them. All of them are to blame. So am I putting Brady Cook in the Hall of Fame? Obviously not. But he didn't get helped out by his teammates. And I was talking about this earlier this week. What you want to do when you have a young quarterback in there like Brady Cook, he's not a first-round pick. He's an undrafted free agent, his first chance. What you hope happens in a game where Brady Cook or any quarterback of that nature is in the game, you hope his teammates pick him up. Okay, let's say he throws a pass that's not perfectly accurate, but a receiver makes a diving catch. That's for you, Brady. I'm making a play. Hey, we're going to help you, man. This is your first opportunity ever. We're going to do extra stuff that we normally don't do to help you out. And not only did they not do extra stuff, they did less than normal with the drops of like Brady's like, okay, throw the ball to John Mechie, he drops it. Would have been a walk-in touchdown. Just simple things that we lose in a box score where he throws a pass to Adonai Mitchell. It would have been a 9-yard gain on 1st and 10, which would have made it 2nd and 1. Now all the playbook possibilities open up. Do you run it, play action, everything that changes? Those are the things we never talk about again because it's a drop and we just move on. And Brady Cook's like, oh shit, it's 2nd and 10 now. Let me do this. Oh, we lost 2 yards at a Breece Hall run. Up 3rd and 12. And then the Dolphins pass rushers are like, sweet barbecue cooking. Here we go, Brady. And then he's like, oh, Jesus. And he's getting annihilated out there. So there was good and bad. That's a long, very, very long answer to your question. But there's a lot I liked, and I hope he gets another shot. Classic AG is not giving us any information on the quarterback carousel we're getting here. But I saw enough where I'm like, hey, the kid wasn't Luke Falk. And that's a very low bar. No Tim Boyle, no, not. He
literally
moved the ball a little bit.
Lowest bar.
Yeah, so he moved the ball a little bit, and he showed me something where I'm like, I'd love to see more during the final 4 games of the season. Yes.
Damn. So if you were the coach,
yes,
Brady's in the rest of the season.
Yeah, because again, with the thing that apparently meant nothing to you with the playoffs being officially over versus what, like perception is, right? Like a 3-9 Jets football team was unlikely to run the table, go 8-9 to have everything else happen where they make the playoffs. But with them literally being mathematically eliminated, there's nothing you could sell the team. And Tyrod's hurt now. I have zero interest in seeing Justin Fields. Quite frankly, I would rather them just cut him. I'm good. I'm just good. After the comments he made about having mixed feelings about coming into the game and helping out in a smaller way, I'm like, all right, I'm good. Let's run out anyone else at quarterback. And here's the reality, right? I think Tyrod's groin injury was serious enough that he never got back into the game. So that's not a great sign for this coming week, if we're being honest. So let's take the Tyrod Taylor piece off the table. Now it's between Justin Fields and Brady Cook. Those are the only 2 quarterbacks right now on the roster. Justin Fields had knee soreness. That's something that sounds like you could play through. It didn't sound like an official injury unless it's more than what they're letting on. So Justin Fields is probably a legitimate possibility to start this week, and that now it's up to AG to pick which one is the better choice. Again, based on the commentary, I'm like, I'd rock with Brady. But in the overall valuation, if Tyrod was healthy, I would probably ride some more Tyrod before I went to Brady personally because he gives everyone the best chance to evaluate healthy. He's proven that over the last couple of weeks. We don't know what Brady Cook is yet, and maybe we're going to be forced to find out.
Wow, what a surprisingly rational answer.
Wow, thanks.
Anytime. Yeah, I mean, to answer the question that I asked, Brady's cooking, like you said, was good and bad. A lot more bad, in my opinion. Than I mean, my boy, he was throwing rockets, like literally, like that last drive. I think he hit somebody every time, but it was like you can see off of what happens when it reaches its contact point, how fast that ball was moving. So, that's always something to consider as well. It was something that Justin Herbert, if you want to talk about a successful rocket thrower, he had to work on dialing back his throws. And he has successfully done that, and now he's making stars at Lad McConkey and all these different guys. They had a game last night that cost me some playoff seating in fantasy, but I won't talk about it. I'm not thinking about it. And then on the other side is like Sam Darnold, who does not throw rockets, very catchable balls. It's something that a lot of his teammates across many different teams have said. And yeah, my boy Brady, he was throwing rockets. So yes, they did. Everyone had a turn. The Oprah, you get a drop. Everyone took their turn, but maybe my boy should be throwing. Actually, let me not say my boy. Your boy should take a little bit off of those throws. Because Martinez, I know Martinez, he would be throwing it nice. He would be throwing, hey, you know what I'm saying. But instead, we got Brady cooking. I guess he thinks he in Houston because he throwing up rockets.
That's a beautiful NBA reference. Thank you very much. I would say here again, because we have one game sample size, and he was thrown into the middle of the game. Maybe he was yippee skippy. He's like, "Holy shit, I'm an NFL game!" Pow, pow, and he's got some extra mustard on the sandwich. He's just firing it all over the place. He's like, "Oh yeah, you want to see some arm strength, baby? Watch this!" And he's just like unloading these throws. That could be happening. I don't want to make excuses for the receivers. Come on, it's the National Football League. I don't give a shit. Throw it hard, soft J, whatever. You got to catch it. You're a professional receiver. But yes, can Brady help his people out? You hear that from receivers all the time. Wow, what a beautiful catchable ball that Joe Burrow throws. Oh, wow, it hits me right. Or hitting in stride. Puts me in a good position where I don't have to contort my body and do something crazy. It's just easy peasy. He just makes it simple for me. I just got to catch the ball, which is my job, random receiver says. So I think that's part of it too. So let's see if he gets another opportunity, and I imagine inevitably that'll happen somewhere in these 4 games, whether it's as early as this Jaguars game or moving forward, of like, hey, let's see if he could dial back. He was even asked that in his post-game commentary about, like, oof, were you firing some of those in here? He's like, yeah, that's possible. And so that's a good one, too. Let me throw another question at you here, Woody. Is the run defense an issue for the Jets? Now, you may say, boy, that's the stupidest, most obvious question you've ever asked, but coming off the Falcons game where Bijan Robinson slathered and went all over the place on the Jets defense, AG came out after and said, I didn't love that happened, but, basically, I'm paraphrasing, it was Bijan Robinson. We've been pretty good against the run outside of Bijan Robinson, so blip on the radar. Well, apparently not. Devon Achane, Ollie Gordon III, who the hell? All right, a little Jalen Wright action. Didn't matter who the heck was running the football against the Jets defense. It was the parting of the Red Sea. Oh, Moses is back. That's good to know. Not Morgan. Nope, sorry, that already happened. Although he will be visiting in a handful of weeks for that Jets-Patriots game. That'll be the final home game of the season. Make sure you get those tickets, MetLife Stadium, for that one. But how big of an issue is this run defense, Woody? Is it really a problem?
I felt like it's been a problem all year. The safest bet you could have made this weekend in the NFL was a Devon Achane touchdown. So I did make it, and
congratulations. Yeah, nice.
Thank you. And the Jets put up something on their Instagram, and it was one of the few times that I was like one of the first to comment on a Jets.
Did you yell first in the comment section? Did you do that?
No, I didn't. But I will tell you what I said because it's relevant to what we're talking about.
All right.
Is that the post that they made on Instagram was, for the month, I want to say it was for the month of November or like for the last 4 weeks, the Jets have allowed the lowest yards per carry in the NFL. Trying to toot their own horn. And I said, during that span, the opposing RB1s, I want to say it was 4 weeks or 3 weeks. And I was saying during that span, the opposing RB1s have also scored 5 touchdowns. So I don't know why this is a post.
Oh, so a cherry picking stat, you believe?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's clear. It was clear. I mean, we getting Derrick Henry.
Wait, whoa! Derrick Henry, he had like 20 yards rushing. What did he have in the game?
He had 2 touchdowns. We cannot stop King Henry. We could not stop King Henry. Okay, what's his name? Travion Henderson. Pass game, run game. This dude was dominating. What are you doing? We've been getting gashed. The Bengals. That's a win. So we don't like to say anything negative about that. But they had Chase Brown. Charlie Brown did another running back come
Samaje Perine.
There it is. Samaje
Career
Perine.
day. Yeah.
Did he have 2? He might have had 2 touchdowns.
Ooh, on the touchdowns, I'm not sure, but I know he had a lot of yards.
He had a lot of yards. That's what I'm saying. So the only exception to that is when I had a fantasy running back, and I'm like, oh, they're about to cook against the Jets. What's his name? J.K. Dobbins? Nah. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? What are you doing? And Quinshawn Judkins, who I want to say the week before had 3 touchdowns, 120 yards.
He did nothing against the Jets,
and he did not. So that's so if they're not on James Wudi's fantasy team, and they play against the Jets, they are cooking barbecue chicken. So yeah, run defense is a problem. I think the whole defense is a problem, but run defense, yeah, opposing RB1s. There you go. Yo, Holmes, my guy. That's I think the whole defense is a problem, but the run defense, yeah, I mean, we know RB1s are about to cook. They're about to get a touchdown. It's not the same, in my opinion, like the wide receiver ones. It's not always, the same guarantee. I don't think Jamar Chase had a touchdown. T had one.
T did. Jamar did not. No.
Yeah. That's, and I feel like that's kind of a common threat, Diggs, like, nah, it's what's his name had a horrible game against the Jets, or not a great game against the Jets. Zay Flowers, right? So it's always a running back. So I see why you highlighted it, and yes, I do think it's a problem.
Well, I'm glad I was able to uptick on James Wudi Instagram activity. I was sort of getting a little curious about that. So thank you. Yeah.
Hey, of course. Well, that actually kind of leads directly into my question. Is that should Steve Wilks be employed? How long is Steve Wilks in employment? Is it okay that let's just finish out these last few games? Let's give him a shot next year. Let's just fire him today. What is the Steve Wilks employment, or is it not Steve Wilks' fault? What is the situation with Steve Wilks? We praise Chris Banjo, greatest special teams of all time. Tanner Engstrand, I think, for the most part, we respect what he's been trying to do with his limited pieces. But Steve Wilks, time and time again, continues to we want to talk about the best special teams of all time. It's gonna be the worst defense of all time. Not even having an interception. We're talking about week 15. It's disgusting. So talk to us about Mr. Wilks.
Okay, let me see here. How much time is left in this season? Okay, we'll flip it the right way. Okay, that's how much time he has left. We're not firing someone with 4 weeks left to go. AG's not that kind of guy. It's a holiday season. He's not going to have Steve Wilks pack his stuff in a cardboard box and give the information to Mrs. Wilks and their children. So out of respect, Wilks will sort of play out the season here. Now, AG was sort of asked this question that you're asking at his Monday presser about. And the added context of the question was, hey, AG, when you were in Detroit, you had that whole thing where you sucked in year 1, basically, and Campbell kept you. And then it all worked out. So now you got Steve Wilks, so there's a lot of problems. Is it Wilks? Is it the players? How much you put on the Wilks? And then AG gave this long answer about, hey, man, Campbell believed in me, and I believe in my guy. But And this is like the line I think everyone's sort of overlooking because everyone's like, oh, look, sounds like AG's going to keep Wilks. He said he's going to evaluate every single coach at the end of the year. He's not going to do it right now. He does the week-to-week stuff of improvement and progressions and things of that nature to improve game plans. But he says at the end of the season, I'm going to fully evaluate everybody. And I think that's a line everyone is skipping. So I fully anticipate that AG, because when a season like this happens, someone has to be the fall guy. We all need a fall guy. And sometimes fall guys are rightfully the fall guy. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes it's a scapegoat. It's a word we'd use. It's like, push him in front of the bus. Was he the problem? I don't know. But push him in front of the bus. Steve Wilks, to me, is the problem. Now, I think he wasn't helped by the Jets straight away, Sauce Gardner, Quinnen Williams, and Michael Carter II, who wasn't playing well. But you thought the coaching staff would, if they were as good as they claimed to be, they should be able to get MC2 back to form pre-injury. They were unable to do so. So I think he certainly wasn't helped by any of those things. But I just don't think he did a good enough job of consistently elevating the talent that he had in front of him. And I think the turnover thing of all the jokes we've been making, it has never happened in NFL history before to have that sort of history. And now I look at black or white, we go back to that, of like players or coach, who is responsible? Is it always something in between? Sure, but someone's got to be more responsible. It's got to be the coaching. I don't know what else it could possibly be that this team is so unlucky. And also, they just look so unprepared against the Dolphins. And I thought this was a great opportunity for AG specifically, but really the entire coaching staff. Okay, this is your first opponent you're playing for a second time. You have tape. You played them once. You saw how they played you. Now, how do you adjust to what you saw on tape? And I know it was a long time ago. Week 4 to week 14 is a lot of time. But still, there was something on tape. Steve Wilks looked beside himself. Everyone was open. Tua didn't have to turn the ball over because everyone was wide open. He was doing play action plays. Oh, there's Greg Dulcich. I don't know who had the over-under of Greg Dulcich catches, but Greg Dulcich, wide open. Oh, there you go. And he's just play action and looks, and he's just throwing the ball in a second because he doesn't have to think. He doesn't have to process. Guys wide open. Bang, 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 over and over and over again. And to me, lack of preparation on Steve Wilks. Did not have his guys ready. Now, AG deserves some of the blame of not having the overall team ready to go. Obviously, they weren't there for that. But yeah, I put a lot of this on Wilks. No interceptions at all. Like, what the hell are they doing during the week? I got no idea. So, Wilks, you're going to get pushed in front of the bus. And then, when you start pushing these fall guys, then the pressure goes on you, the coach. I look at Sean McDermott in Buffalo, right? Ken Dorsey, you're the problem. That was the offensive coordinator for the Bills. Shoved him in front of a bus, and then see ya. The defensive coordinator, Leslie Frazier, longtime respected guy, in a very similar vein of Steve Wilks in terms of reputation. Leslie Frazier, I think, even more respected than Steve Wilks is, but not trying to do a respect pissing contest over here. But he pushed Sean McDermott when things were wrong, pushed Leslie Frazier in front of the bus. And what I used to say on the radio when I covered all the New York teams, I went, well, Sean, you're running out of fall guys. Eventually it's going to be on you, buddy, if the problems persist. And luckily for him, he hired the right people, and all of a sudden they fixed the issues. And then, Sean McDermott back in safe zone. He was in danger. Push, back in safe zone. So AG, this next hire is going to be very important. I think Steve Wilks will coach out the season. I think that's a respectful thing. Why not? They're out of the playoffs. What difference does it make if Wilks coaches out the last final games or doesn't? So I think Wilks 1,000% is out of a job here in a matter of a month. Yes, I do.
Well, we can only hope. I know you try to throw that excuse of the Sauce Quinnen thing. I mean, he had games with them, and the defense low key looked worse. So there was I don't have anything really positive to say. I don't think there's anything that he's done that has been good. And I feel like the biggest injustice is running a scheme that clearly does not fit his personnel, and like not adjusting. So did they have good games? Of course, the Broncos, and the Panthers back to back. So, solid games, but again, I think he is making the personnel look worse than they are. And to see, Quinnen, come to life in Dallas, obviously, yeah, okay, the losing is getting to him and all that type of stuff. But as a coach, right, that's part of your job is revving up your guys, getting them ready to play. And I remember when the Jets were in the midst of a losing streak. What year was that? 2022 or 3. Boy Green will definitely correct me when he hears the rest of the story. That it was Quinn Williams who opened up the game against the Jaguars Thursday Night Football with a strip sack fumble that was recovered. 2022, they gave the ball to Zach Wilson 30 yards out. Like that, so it's not like you can say like, oh, Quinnen, he been a quit. Nah, he's not a quitter. I've seen him make plays late in seasons when things are not going well. But that's Steve Wilks. For me, that I put that on Wilks. That he has guys phoning it in under his watch. So
well, hey, before you go to your question, Wudi, because I love getting fan engagement when you can. I see Taylor Sterling in here says we've dropped easy interception. Steve Wilks is schemed up. That's an interesting thing to say, Taylor. I actually have a statistic for that. So, Wudi, we'll go to you. I'm not going to play any trivia music, but there have been 293 interceptions in the National Football League this season. 293. The Jets don't have one. How many dropped interceptions do you believe the Jets have? And this is tracked by analytics. It's tracked by ESPN analytics, so you guys can believe it or not. Okay, there have been 293 interceptions in football this season. Jets haven't had a single one. But how many dropped interceptions do you think the Jets have had?
There's a few that I can think of. The interesting thing about this is like somebody is keeping like to say because sometimes the concept of a drop is objective, right?
Sure, for sure. So right,
it's subjective. So
subjective,
it's like
right. Because you could say, well, that was a drop. That would have been too difficult, or that shouldn't count. So keep that in mind. Again, This is charged dropped interception. So an analytics person, whatever nerds in the back of her going, up counts. Up doesn't count. Whoever that is, that's the number I'm about to say from ESPN. But no, go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna go with 8.
Okay. So Taylor would love that number, I imagine. We've dropped easy 8 interceptions. Well, the Jets have 0. The next closest team in the National Football League gets 5. 5 is the next closest number. So the 32 Jets 0. 31 5. I would buy 2 1 5. Sounds pretty nice. According to ESPN analytics, Taylor Sterling, the Jets have dropped 3 interceptions this season. 3 is how much ESPN says. Now, if I'm going off memory, I think it's more than 3. But I'm using the ESPN numbers that are out there from what they're counting from their analytics department. And they get paid a lot of money to do this. 3 is what he's had. So Steve Wilks has schemed up 3 interceptions they've dropped. Wilks, thank you. By the way, as I just revealed, 3 would still be last in the National Football League if that was true. 3 would be last because the next closest team has 5. But no. So again, something has to be happening. It's in the drinking water on one Jets drive. And especially when you just see the game last night that Wudi referenced and he lost some fantasy action in. Jalen Hurts had 5 turnovers in the game. On one play, he had 2 turnovers. He threw the pick. The ball fumbled. He picked it up, and then he got the ball knocked out. What the hell? 5 turnovers from one guy. And you see all these turnovers happen. Like, Jesus, how did the Jets not get some of this? Because it's an oblong-shaped football. It bounces in weird directions all over the place. So, I just wanted a long story short of saying, no, it sounds like Steve Wilks has not been, quite frankly, scheming up the things that are being suggested, but 3 dropped interceptions on the season.
Yeah, I'm not even sure, what was schemed and what was Butterfingers by the QB too, but we'll go with that. Your question?
Yes, let me go here, and I know we're going to be wrapping up the show here soon. Real quick, though, folks, like the video. Show your support. Me and Wudi are streaming live on both of our YouTube channels. That is @BoyGreen25, @TakeFlightTalk. Also on my Facebook page, at BoyGreen25, my Twitter page, at Green25, and on Instagram, the James Wudi. Make sure you guys hit it up. See his recent Instagram activity on random Jets Instagram posts. What is he saying? I don't know. Maybe it's something insightful. Maybe it's not. Not sure. And CBW loves to give a shout out to all the people on the X Machine Twitter. 136. CBW, you're always there. Yeah. Appreciate that. Oh, yeah, Woody, give some Instagram shout outs real quick, please.
Yes, absolutely. Instagram, you already know. We pop in. A lot of people saying hello. So what up to yous? Okay. But yeah, we out here. At the James Wudi live, and then at Take Flight Talk. Comment section not popping really on Take Flight Talk. Come on now. Pop them up. Pop. Hey, we ready for it.
Here's my final question. It's this, Woody. Do the Jets have, and normally we do this just for the most immediate game. It's really what the questions loom. And my question does partake, could be utilized for this upcoming week, but also I'll stretch it to the season that remains as well. Are there any surprises left for the Jets this season? I will explain. You look at the final 4 games left for the Jets: at Jacksonville, at New Orleans, home for New England, at Buffalo. Okay? When I say surprises, the Jets, if you look at the analytics right now, are actually an underdog in all of those games specifically. But the one they have the best chance at is New Orleans. If the Jets beat New Orleans, I would not consider that a surprise. So I'm giving you 3 other opportunities, Woody, 2 in their division: Buffalo, New England, and then Jacksonville. Any of those wins in either of those 3 places, to me, would be an upset, would be a surprise. Are there any surprises left in the AG bag this season for the New York Jets? Or is it as the gods and the stars read, the Jets are losing out, going 0-4?
I would like to hope that they got a surprise. I kind of need a surprise. I know after every win, the fan base, we went it out. No one was asking this question last week, right? The beat the Falcons, and now there's a loss, and now everyone is like, we're gonna lose out. So that's just a fan base being, emotional. Like I said, I'm in a world of people calling themselves positive and negative. I'm just real. It's real. So the reality of it is that it's any given Sunday. They can win any of these 4 games. Will they win any of these 4 games? I'd like to think they can. And honestly, if I pull up, matter of fact, Boy Green and I, we both collabed on this file on IG. We had a shared post of the coaches and how they did against the AFC East, and for some reason I cannot pull it up quickly enough. I got it right here. But I would hate to see AG just end up with another goose egg. I was actually surprised when I looked back and looked at all these guys' first years to see, because I knew Salah was there, was dead zero. But I was like, damn, we got some 4s in here. We were doing some work. Obviously Todd Bowles, that was kind of a magical, random season. But even Adam Gase got a win against his old team that fired him. He was able to come back and say, F you. I cannot have Glenn be a 0 on here. So I'm hoping to God that somehow, some way, one of those last 2 games is a win. I don't care about, because now everyone's talking about Fernando, but that's because the Jets lost. So that's it's crazy how much you guys really it's super black and white. You guys one side of the spectrum immediately all the way to the other side of the spectrum week to week. I don't even know how you guys can live like that. My heart would give out. So thank God that I can see the middle. But yeah, I need AG to get one. I cannot have him be a 0 like Salah.
Yeah, to me, at this current moment in time, as optimistic as I am, I think the only winnable game right now for the Jets is the Saints game, and that's a 50-50, especially with how Tyler Shuck just played against Tampa Bay. New England is vying for the number 1 seed. Right now, if the playoffs started today, they would not have the number 1 seed. Denver would, so that's what they're playing for. Buffalo, I don't think is anywhere in the AFC East run, but for their playoff positioning, it's very important, especially they lost to Houston, so they don't want to have a head-to-head and drop back in the standings due to some of the head-to-head tiebreakers they've lost. So Buffalo is intrinsically motivated to keep going. Jacksonville just took the lead in the AFC South. Thank you very much for helping with the Colts pick. Thank you, Jacksonville. And now the Jets have this Jaguars team on the road, and I don't feel particularly good about that one. And then, like I said, the Saints, that one is also on the road for the Jets. So, yeah, I see maybe one more win on the season, but to be honest, I don't feel incredibly confident about that at this point.
But that's, again, very black or white of you, because you feel like, oh, the Jets, they're not playing for nothing. I tried to explain to you that they are.
Yeah.
But you don't believe it. So all you really did was, oh, these guys have playoff seeding. This team doesn't have playoff seeding. And that's your analysis, which is that's not like a great one. So that would mean that every week, every playoff team beats a non-playoff team, which is not like all the playoff teams beat all the non-playoff teams.
Well, the odds would say that happens more often than not. That's why the playoff teams are the playoff teams and the non-playoff teams are the playoff teams, right? So like Jacksonville, 9-4. 9 times they've gone into an opponent's week and came away with a win. But go to all of them: Buffalo, New England, all these, or we could go even stronger, right? Buffalo, the Jets have been blown out 3 times now this season. It's Buffalo, Dallas. Unfortunately, we're at that one, and then this Miami loss that just happened. So there's been 3 blowout losses. One of them has been to Buffalo. The Jets play Buffalo in Week 18 in the final game in that stadium before that thing gets crumbled down and they move next door. So I imagine Buffalo.
What a way to put a stamp on it with a Jets dub, just like how we did with the Patriots. Bill Belichick handed them that last L, made them Bill Belichick. Come on now.
Right. Like, and there'd be nothing more I would love than for Buffalo's.
You look at 2015. The 2015, the Jets obviously winning your in type deal. Mm-hmm. Buffalo, they weren't in the playoffs. They weren't playing for nothing. And who won that game? So it's definitely not as simple as you tried.
So tell me, what do you think? What do you think the Jets' record is? So right now they're 3-10. There's 4 games left. What's the Jets' final record with all the information you have right now on December 9th at 3:56 p.m. Eastern?
I'm just saying, I wouldn't.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
I don't have an answer. I don't
Why
have
not?
an answer.
Come on, man.
Because we don't know. We literally don't know. But
that's why I'm asking you. Come on, you're a betting man. You make halfway decent money on occasion. If you
come on now, you gotta boost up my resume better than that. Come on now, I'm out here doing some work.
Give me your confidence level. You say, right, because us fans, we're emotional, right? We're jumping from, we're gonna win out. Just kidding, we're gonna lose that. We're going all over the place. Well, you're the man of reason. That's why people come to this show, for God's sake. So I'm asking you, Woody. There's 4 games left. What? I'm not gonna hold you there and say, Woody was wrong on December 9th. I'm just asking you your gut feel. 3 of those teams the Jets are playing are playoff teams. One of them has a top 5 pick, and they're picking in front of the Jets. What do you believe? You had to do a gut call right now. You can change your mind tomorrow or an hour from now. How many wins are the Jets going to win here in the Final 4?
I can see 1. I can see 2. I cannot see 3. I'm not gonna lie. 3 would be pretty crazy.
That would be very crazy.
Especially, I guess, and no, the reason why this is so difficult as well is because we have no idea what the quarterback situation looks like.
Right.
So yeah, like this. Nah, I cannot say enough, but I will say this: the possibilities are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the possibilities. Is it not the possibilities?
No, there's no way they go 4-0. That's just not a possibility. It's just not possible.
Why is it not? What do you mean? That's a clear.
So you said that, like, well, we don't know who the quarterback is. You're right. If it's if you told me, Paul, Justin Fields is the guy for the Final Four, lose them all.
I didn't say it's
Paul,
likely. I feel like probability gets you tripped up sometimes. I didn't say it's like. I'm saying those are the possible. That can happen. They can win 4 games. They can win 3 games. They can win 2 games, 1 game, or 0 games. Those are the possibilities. That is what can happen. They can't win 5 games. That's not possible because there's 4 games. They can't win -1. Right? That's not possible. But they can win 4, 3, 2, or 1.
I think their best hope is winning
or 0.
Well, they could go 0, sure.
Yes. So, with that being said, with the 5 confirmed possibilities that, damn, I feel like your math teacher has failed you. Or probability you was asleep. You must have mono for like a month or something. You just
I did actually do have mono. It got me very sick. I almost died. Yeah.
Damn. Well,
thank you for bringing that up.
You're welcome. But I can't commit to one number, but I can say that 0, 1, 2 seem like the most likely possibilities, and I hope again, back to that graphic that we showed before. I need AG to get one of those final 2.
I will tell you, I concur with that. First off, that he would be the only one to have at least one, like just one. Right?
Yeah.
So there's 4, 2, 3, 2, 0, 1. I would like not to have Aaron Glenn be an offer like Salah. So if I could, I get everyone saying lose out, tank this, tank that, and sure, losing 4 in a row and all that jazz, or 4 more in a row because they've already lost others. That would obviously benefit, but. You beat New England. I love beating New England, so I don't care the circumstance. Buffalo in their final game in that stadium because they're not getting a home game in the playoffs. Phenomenal. Saints. I mean, I don't really have anything. My brother's a Saints fan, so I don't really have anything against the organization in some way. And the Jaguars, how many fans do they have? I don't really have. I don't have an intense. Ooh yeah, screw the Jaguars. They've been a franchise for like 30 years. They haven't been around enough for me to develop any type of a feeling towards Jacksonville. So, yeah.
Well, there you go. There you go. There you have it. There you have it. Just when you think you have all the answers, we change up the questions. So that is, today's episode. You know what? I actually did have one other question, and I wrote it down. So I'm gonna just ask real quick.
All right.
Breece Hall. I feel like right after the deadline, I feel like he was being used a bunch, and then recently, just this past game, 14 carries. I know, his yards, but the efficiency wasn't great. So of course, are you gonna just keep beating a dead horse? But he is a volume runner. Like he is. The quintessential 3-down back. I feel like if you do give him, his carries, he's going to break one loose. Keep him active in the passing game. He had 0 targets. Are they saving him a little bit for next year? Like I thought they would be running him into the ground, but it seems like.
I think you did shortchange him. I think he had 1 target. Brady Cook pegged the hot dog guy on a screenplay. I think you did shortchange him. I think he had one quality over quantity, but missed. Breece Hall had no chance. He went, I
did. Yeah, I remember that actually. Okay, yes.
Good time.
So that's. But yeah, that's I feel like that's a downtick. I've seen a little bit of a downtick in his usage.
So repeat your question. Go ahead.
Is that if you did not want him, you would probably run him into the ground.
Right. Yes.
But the fact that it seems like since the deadline, they've kind of been dialing down his usage. Does that mean that they're saving him for next year?
And isn't that just like the crazy ass thing, right? Because that's what I've heard a lot of people called into Boy Gray Daily and said this of like, Brees Hall, I don't know if you're here in 2026, but I know you're not here. You know, I know you're here right now, and we're going to run you into the ground. You're getting 40 carries. We're just going to grind your ass because you're under contract, and like let's just do everything. And they certainly have not done anything close to that. Thankfully, I still remember that New England game where he had like 37 carries. Are they doing that to save him? I think it's more so incompetency. I'm going to be honest. I wish I could say I wish I could say there's a greater plan at play here, right? You know, like, hey, you know, we're playing checkers down here. They're playing chess upstairs, and like, you know, you know, it's like Stranger Things. If anyone's caught up on the latest Stranger Things,
spoiler alert, yo, my man about to
there's other minds at play here. There's other minds at play here that we think we have it all figured out. But wait a second. Who's that? I think there might be who we think is and who really is. I think there might be get some pop culture reference in there. I think it's just incompetency, to be honest. I wish it was. It'd be better to say, oh, we're not using him on purpose, folks. Oh, okay. All right. At least there's something going on there. The fact that they consistently do not use him properly is just a concerning sign of like, what the hell? I just think it's incompetency, to put it bluntly. They should be using him, and use or lack of. Well, we're going to get a test on that this week. This is a question I can't ask because we don't know. I guess you can ask questions we don't know. Garrett Wilson, is he playing another snap this season? He's eligible to come off IR this week. AG said it's a purely medical discussion. Is he healthy or not? Maybe it is black or white. Apparently, Woody has things against black or white, which is okay. And that's fine by me. But you know, I think there is gray there that you have to discuss, and that's an upstairs discussion. Again, chess checkers. Maybe that's not something we get to decide or talk about, but they go, damn, we're out of the playoffs. Do we just want him fully healthy? And hey, we get another look at the younger receivers, right? There's these deeper level conversations that beyond Garrett healthy, he play. Garrett not healthy, he no play. Like I don't know.
That was pretty funny. And Yo Holmes, that is true. That was WrestleMania 6. Yeah, that was solid reference. Yeah, I hope Mr. Jared K is correct. That's what I'm hoping. You know, they know what they have. He will be back, and you know, they're gonna do their thing. But Yo Holmes, our guy, he might be correct. You know, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. But definitely bad news for life. Sorry about that. But yeah, appreciate everybody. You already know. Come on now. We always talking. We always asking questions. We answering questions. We doing our thing. And we're gonna be back on Thursday. You already know. Third Party Thursday. We out here. We're gonna be, you know, talking to some Floridian about that team over there, the Cats.
We will see. So should be fascinating nonetheless, and it'll be a real hoot. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Again, if you guys are watching on YouTube live or after the fact, make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe, but also shout out to Facebook, Twitter, and the Gram. We appreciate no matter how you consume. Boy Green meets
Woody.
Woody. There we go. I love that we just – beautiful.
Yes.
Boy Green.
Yeah, hey, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I felt it when he did it. But yes, appreciate you, Jones.
All right. God bless everybody. We'll see you.